Hello, my retro friends. Thanks for finding my channel, Mike the Retro Realtor. Every once in a while, I gotta remind myself it's not 1985 anymore, it's 2025. And I have to get back into the present day. So I say this because my house is littered with physical media. I have hundreds, if not thousands, of DVDs. And I love just watching DVDs because there's not a whole lot on cable TV anymore. It's all reruns of crap that I really don't care for to begin with. We do have some streaming channels. I enjoy The Boys on Amazon, and I'll be honest with you, I'm looking forward to season 5 of Stranger Things, wrap that up. But the streaming services that we have are basically for the wife and kids. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see my Starlight Theater pictures when I take out a little travel TV with a DVD and I watch movies on my deck. This is the time of year where I really enjoy doing it because it's a little cooler. To that point, I do enjoy my DVDs. But every once in a while, there's nothing that tricks my trigger when I'm thinking of going through all my DVDs. I will actually go to a streaming service. I notice when I do my movie reviews, when I say where you can find the movies along with DVD, I always kept saying TUBI. So all these movies that I really love are always on TUBI. Not every single one of them, but most of these movies I do enjoy are there. So that being said, I'm actually going to talk about TUBI. I feel that TUBI is the most Gen X friendly streaming service that they have it. They're not doing tons of new stuff. They do some new stuff, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't checked out any of it. When I go there, I'm looking for an 80s, 90s movie or an old 80s and 90s TV show. Sometimes I'll dip into the 2000s, but they do have quite a catalog of over 40,000 programs. That's a hell of a lot, and that's including entire series, so there'll be 100 or so for The Odd Couple or something like that. If you just want to turn off your mind and watch something fun that you haven't thought about in years, I definitely recommend TUBI. TUBI is a non-pay streaming service. Yes, there are ads, but you know what? Growing up in the 80s and 90s, we didn't have cable, so I had 4 channels. And if the president was on, he was on all 3. If that was the case, I'd play Atari, Nintendo, or pop in a VHS tape. Not the end of the world, but to have so many options at the tip of my fingers is awesome. TUBI launched in April of 2014, and it got a reputation very quickly for playing kind of B-side movies and oddball stuff. And I'll be honest with you, that's why I'm there. I like that stuff. In 2020, Fox Corporation bought it and added a lot of their own catalog, but now they're doing stuff from Disney, Sony, Warner Brothers. So the catalog keeps getting bigger. It's now over 40,000 movies and TV shows. So you really will easily find something. And I like how they break it down by category. 80s comedy, 90s comedy, 80s horror, 80s drama, whatever you're looking for, you can find it pretty quickly. Yeah, there's a lot of scrolling, but that's every type of streaming service. If you're just looking for something that's kind of turn off your mind, you will find a movie that's interesting enough. It might not be a good movie, but you know what? It's there. Last night, I saw a movie I never heard of before, Night of the Running Man, starring Andy McCarthy and Roy Scheider. It was a crime drama, cat and mouse type movie, but it was fine. It was good. It entertained me for 90 minutes, but it does remind me of what stuff used to look like back in the mid-90s. Not everything had to be a blockbuster, and it gives these movies that nobody talks about, nobody thinks about, a second chance. So, but being a Gen Xer, I don't have a problem with the commercials. I'm used to it. And they're not that obnoxious. There is some glitches with the service, rewinding and going forward on the movies. It doesn't work well. And then where they put commercials in, yes, they give you a little heads up. There's a little display up there. It says commercial coming in 10 seconds, whatever. They don't really do it at breaks like the network TV did. And they're not too intrusive. It's normally about a minute. And they're not every 5 seconds. So it works out just fine. If you don't want to spend any money, because I know these subscriptions are just getting more and more expensive, go to an ad-supported service. And if you like the odd stuff like I really do, you're going to find some really cool stuff. You will find some deep cuts from the 80s and 90s and 2000s. I really enjoy it. And I'm not the only one. In June, TUBI beat out Paramount. They beat out Starz. They beat out HBO. They beat out Disney. People are watching TUBI just because it's very easy and the content, there is something for everybody, especially if you're a Gen Xer. If you enjoy the 80s and 90s movies as much as I do, you will find something. So that being said, it costs you no money. Yeah, you got to watch some ads, but that's the way of the world. And it's worth having. Everyone has a smartphone. Everyone has smart TV these days. Check it out if you haven't already. You will find some good stuff. That being said, keep it retro, my friends, and thanks for coming by.